Hello there, fellow fans of Hollow Knight. We got updates! I'm reluctant to say news given there are far too many gamers who don't understand that the definition covers noteworthy information as well as new information, and I would certainly class this as noteworthy, but if you'd like, let's go with messages of reassurance. First of all, Matthew Griffin, aka Leth, aka the marketing and publishing guy for Silksong, wished us a happy Valentine's Day along with confirmation that they are still working hard on the game. He also posted something very similar on Reddit. And how many times have we said we just want to hear that they're still actively working on it and would accept little updates like this, and they listened? Second of all, I've posted previously about them not having updated their websites in 2024, but apparently in the last few days, they have updated both the Team Cherry and Silksong website footers to reflect the current year. Look, it's a small thing, but you add it all up, that's the most news that we've had in a long time. I'm so happy, and there's always going to be fans who won't be happy with that, so if this applies to you, please don't get angry that what we got didn't meet your expectations. Maybe instead consider not regularly checking for updates. Not being happy with this kind of communication though is entirely valid. I'm just saying let's be adults about it. I have another video planned to discuss fan expectations in more detail, but I'll say now that I'm very disappointed in some of the comments that I've seen this week. Team Cherry are quite literally damned if they do and damned if they don't. And also, stop taking it out on Leth. He's the marketing and publishing guy for both Silksong and Crowsworn, as well as working on his own game, and there's probably other things he hasn't told us because why on earth would we be entitled to that information? Anyway, important takeaway is that we know he's not a full-time Team Cherry employee. He knows as much about the game as the core Team Cherry devs want him to know, and that might be a little or it might be a lot. It's not worth speculating when the result is the same. I do very much want to try and clear some things up here as well, so for now, it's PowerPoint time. Marketing and publishing isn't the same as PR, no matter what big publishing studios want you to believe, and those publishers will have their own marketing teams, by the way. And yeah, sure, some people will argue that PR falls under marketing, but there is actually a difference. PR is short for public relations and refers to the strategic communication from an organization to the public to maintain or cultivate public image and/or respond to public discourse. That sounds exactly like what the community needs. Typically, marketing functions will be concerned with a specific product or service, whereas PR concerns itself with the reputation of the company or brand. So, marketing promotes a product or service, but what exactly does that entail? So that could include creating, planning, pitching, and executing marketing campaigns tailored to local markets as well as the global audience. And those might be paid media campaigns that require external creatives to produce imagery or videos, agency selection to worry about, media buying, etc. We've seen what Team Cherry have done with Nintendo, E3, and Xbox, and I cannot emphasize enough how much planning these things take. I've worked with Nintendo and Xbox a lot of times as a creator, and the approvals process, even from my side, it's a lot. Managing a marketing budget and allocating funds to distributors, sales teams, whoever else that needs it, defining and tracking progress towards goals around consumer awareness, user acquisition and retention, and so much more. Working alongside PR, social and influencer managers to maximize community engagement. Actually, they would usually work alongside product management, engineering, game designers, business development, operations, a marketing comms team, community management, a public relations team, as well as external partners that includes local governments and also external marketing and PR agencies. But indie companies don't usually have all of those for obvious reasons, so who knows how many of those hats one person might wear. Publishing is all about the successful global release and distribution of a product, and in the gaming world, publishers might pay for the game to be developed and then oversee the project end to end. However, in this video, we're talking specifically about indie publishers who likely don't need to take on those project management activities to justify the spend, but will still have a lot to do. Like, they might act as a central point of contact for external partners and internal devs, work with external partners to ensure the product meets their requirements for their console or platform or storefront, analyze competitor products, coordinate teams working on console ports, remain up to date with copyright laws, licensing expectations, and negotiate deals within that space, ensure the game is adapted for different regions, and also covering post-launch activities, which could include promotion, community management, user acquisition, live ops, and commercialization. Sometimes they even also coordinate the testing efforts. Okay, so those were some very broad and basic definitions. Here's what we know with regards to Silksong. Leth is just one person, taking on two functions that are typically undertaken by entire teams of people, and he's doing this for at least 2 different games. And he has other work that takes up an indeterminable amount of time too, and he's based in a very different time zone to Team Cherry. We don't know his full job description or how many hours he's contracted per week week to work on Silksong related activities, and I also took a bit of time to watch the Q&A that he facilitated with Cornered Ape when he worked with them on Stardew Valley, and there's a lot of answers to questions from the devs like, I don't know how to answer that because right now I don't know. And that's extremely common for indie game studios, but it is a nightmare to communicate to fans. Basically, what I'm trying to say, please stop directing all of your anger at one person because you think it's their job to provide you with the news that meets your standards. There is definitely valid constructive criticism about the lack of communication from Team Cherry, but hold Team Cherry accountable. It's ultimately their decision to not have a dedicated PR person right now, and it's up to them how much is publicised to fans. If Leth wasn't given proper approval and he decided to give us more substantial information on his own, he'd probably be hurting his future career prospects. He's also told us that he's the one that keeps up most with social media, so chances are, if anyone were to see your direct insults, it would be him. That's just so unfair. He's the only person giving us anything, and he's getting the majority of personal attacks despite not even being on the game full time. Again, not trying to say the frustration isn't valid, just aim it in the right direction in the right way, okay? Besides, for all we know, there might be further delays given the latest reports around the Switch 2 being pushed to early 2025. Nintendo previously got to show off the most of Silksong so far, as well as having it at their booth at an event before. We also know that the Games Developers Conference Industry Survey revealed that 8% of devs were working on titles for the Nintendo Switch successor, as well as the rumours of it being available to certain devs behind closed doors at Gamescom last year. I am speculating, of course, but it would be sad if they were currently working on a Switch 2 release with the Switch 2 device not even firmly finalised in terms of hardware. And who knows, things can change very drastically behind the scenes. Unfortunately, we don't know why we've not heard the official announcement yet for the Switch 2, nor why the release window has changed. And that's just one of my many crazy theories about why we haven't got a Silksong release window just yet. It's probably going to be like the most simple reason. I don't know. We'll find out more when we find out more. I'm extremely happy about hearing any kind of update. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.